New topic, bliss discipline. Bliss discipline shall actually decide your timeline. If you watch the movie, what's that called? The Adjustment Bureau, it's explained. So now you have to look at this. There are people in life, two types of people. There's no in between. They're particles, okay? One has problems and makes problems and has problems all the time. Creates problems and attracts problems and claims it's not responsible. Wants to run negative. You have one that runs positive. So here's what you do. A choice point defines a timeline, okay? So whatever thoughts you subscribe to, so let's say you have thoughts that are nice waveforms and harmonious waveforms that will define a timeline that's pretty much stable and going this way. For every choice point you make, you create time waves and time ripples, things that happen to you in your life, things that will come to you, things that backtrack stuff, that reconnect, and you creating this wonderful mandala of conscious existence going in all directions. And when this is divine, then this becomes like a golden fractal, like the perfect fractal. That's what we're trying to master here, to actually create this time weaving process in a divine way. So the problem is for what people that can't see themselves, they have a denial and they don't want to hear that they can't see themselves. So the question is, how do we make them experience of what they're doing? So let's say you're traveling with a companion. Your companion is already running a negative grid. You can already see in their fields, they don't have one output here. They have many, many, many outs and inputs. And they all already like this. Then they have one major that shifts between those all the time. Like can't make up their mind. I'm coming, I'm going, I'm staying, I don't know, I'm not sure, I need my time. So there's two things we can observe. The success, and that has to do also with your abundance, the successful person needs a long time to make up their mind, to come to a choice point and make a decision and stabilize. Okay? The unsuccessful person, and it's not a diss, it's just not progressing. The person that loops wastes no time to make a decision and change that decision and change that decision and change that decision over and over and over and over and over, creating grids of possibilities over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And guess what happens? This chaotic grid begins to overwhelm them, backfires, creates a negative spiral, and then they go, I'm overwhelmed, this is, it's all this. Guess what? This goes down the spiral, you lose. You lose your friends, you lose relationships, you lose everything when you run that. When you're in that, you're not even looking for input. It's like cancerous. It becomes a cancer cell, it shuts down, it creates this grid, and anybody's trying to reach you, bounces off, until, and that was also for those that have addictions or suicidal or whatever you are, try to find a way to understand the grid pattern that you are creating, that you are responsible for. You know? Nobody else. When you create that, and it's already, when you get psychic, you will see who's creating what. So if you have particle plus and minus, and it's not about opposites attract, not all the time. There's supposed to be resonance. And when there's resonance, you have something that manifests. If you have dissonance, and that's by law, you have something that at some point will dissolve. It'll disappear. That's for sometimes when people, as in the ascension process, I heard people going through divorce or splitting, or somebody is spiritual, they're all into the field, and they complain their partner is not. Well, guess what happens? When you begin to create a thought pattern that creates a time wave that leads you down this path, and this person is throwing a hook and pulling you back because they believe their path is this way. But your soul is already telling you this is your way. Guess what happens here? There'll be a split. You'll begin to repel each other. The repelling becomes evident when you have fights out of nowhere, when you can't even sit next to your partner, or your partner makes you upset. That can be for both sides. I'm not saying this one is better, this one is bad, or good or bad. We got to get out of this dualistic. This is for principles. This person needs to go to the potential where it's heard. And that potential then has a time to come together to realize what they're doing and change the outlook on things. The manifestation begins, and we can come back here. And this resonance is higher now, that as we rise, the ripple effects are even stronger. Meaning, let's say, you're into spiritual, and wifey calls an online to get a reading, while husband says, I'm not wasting my money on this BS, that's not going to do anything. And he attacks you. And you're not happy. Well, be brave enough to allow yourself to be happy, or to be in a place where you're loved, where you're wanted, and where you're happy, and make the choice. So did I. When I was in Berlin, I felt like for what I wanted to do and how open I wanted to live my life, I wasn't accepted, so I stated my case, and guess what? I kind of was bounced out of my apartment, which in that time, I forgive my past and I forgive myself, but I needed that because I picked the high road. That's for me. I want to go in wave patterns that are harmonious, stabilized, strategized, and in a nice way, you can see what you're doing when you create. Balance input and output. Also saying with that, I'm not a guru, I'm leading my life, I'm merely here to share with you ideas that I have to see if they can work for all. And if that's good, well then I'm the coach of the team. That's it. What is it that I want for you? And you don't have to buy anything. This information is free. I want you to win. I want for you to be successful in your life with your decisions, and also be proud. Also, what people have sometimes, if you are destined to rise, is what you have around you will attract that what you're sending out. So if you have chaos within you, you'll attract that. People want to run from that, but there's no running from it. If you have disbelief in you and doubt, it's going to come to you. And also, how long do you marinate on something that's being thrown at you? Well, the more you talk about it, the more you manifest the shit. So pardon my French. It's really growing up in hip-hop, meeting many people, many heads. I can see that. And they talk about this person and this and not letting go and always running around. Well, guess what? You got this whole freaking thing here hanging on to your existence. Well, what happens to your ball in the game of life? When you do this, and a lot of people do it, you drop in frequency. Your light quotient drops because you're busy with this here. You're busy with the negative. You're down here in the distortion. You want to go there because it's like your hobby. It's like we're obsessed. Well, guess what? Also, your connection goes thinner. Let's say if you're a channel or a data streamer, this is your hub to your way station. You drop here, it gets thin here. See? It's thinner, your connection gets thinner. Some beings in their communication, but people say, well, the closer you are with the source, the closer you are to your hub, the better the connection, the better what you have to do, the better the acceleration point of where you need to be going. Success as in, yes, make money, conscious millionaires, skillionaires we need. We don't need unconscious rich people that say, the ruling class are the ones that are rich. The thing is this, we need to harvest, bring it home and share. And it's also like this, what you do, and it's hard work. It takes a lot of work. This is your field, okay? This is your playing field. And you plant ideas and seeds in your field, okay? Plant them. You can't plant rotten seeds. Rotten seeds will not bear fruit, or you will have a crippled tree. So, healthy seed, fruits of your labor, healthy. That'll be evident for everybody to see. And if you do this grid work in your work, and you plant, you bring in the positive, you will harvest. But there are people out there, they think that they don't need to plant. They don't want to plant anything. They like, give it to me. Or they go to the next one and copy the idea, and there's no mutual agreement. They just take. And then they say, well, I can run with this. This is not my idea, but it's not. They didn't originate source energy. Like a sorcerer is not a negative. You need to source energy through your field to bring that home that you can harvest. If those people steal, let's say, from engineers, inventors, or scientists from ideas without sharing, you're killing source energy and you're killing it, and what you have again, duat. That will eventually go extinct. All humans that are stuck in that field will stay in the fail sector that I explained in the other video. You will go extinct because nature, the nature template requires for you to harmonize, to evolve, to expand and extend your life. And that's what the universe is waiting for. You can't bring your garbage over there. If you have stuff to declare at customs, at the intergalactical IFED customs, you cannot bring it because energetically it'll get caught in that grid. So what you have to do is, everything in life that happens to you is a reflection of your consciousness, and you can change that. If somebody comes with negative stuff to you, you can also state that and say, I'm no longer in agreement with the reality that you're producing. Contracts are adhesive. If you, let's say, watch Disney for more than 5 minutes, it becomes adhesive. That means you're subscribing to that. Then you can't complain after 15 minutes, oh, it's nothing but garbage, I don't want to see that. Well, you have the power to turn the remote off, switch, and say, well, I might want to see Gaia TV, or Channel Divine, or Karma TV, to see what's out there, or Coast to Coast for all I care. And all of a sudden things change. When you change the subscription in what your interests are, everything in your surrounding environment will change according to that, bringing you to a focal point. It's not always necessary to take mushrooms to find that. That's the shock treatment that some people prefer, which is a whole other subject, and I don't recommend that here. He is like, from a sober point of view, and what you would call rational, and I call it the divine rational operating system, okay? The Doros. That is what we are trying to activate. I might write a book on that, how to activate the divine operating system. That's a divine drive. And when you link with the higher dimensions, stuff will fall into place. So you want abundance and you want magic, try to embody being positive. See yourself around other people. Let's say you're not feeling so well. Try to be responsible with that, to not pin it on other people, because people tend to leave you when you get negative. When you're judgmental, when you're negative, nobody wants to be your friend. Or somebody who loves the same misery and wants to bitch around, come with you, and it's going to go even worse. We don't want that. We want divinity. We want purpose. We want direction and a divine timeline. And that is what I call the bliss discipline. Is, can you, with a friend or within your relationship, let's say, make a project, or go out, or go on vacation, and hold that bliss here. Share blissful topics. Create a blissful wave path, and make it a wonderful waveform. The two. When you do that, you create a waveform that will also hit a gravitational wave, others will pick up on that, as in the field. When that is established, you're actually doing your job. We have people here that say, I want to leave the planet. When the ships come to pick me up, no holy being will appear in front of you right now. How you want it is you will see them how you create this here. And this can only be positive, and positive in a divine way. And when you are here, also positive technology will be invented as we speak to assist you to be in your field. And when you do that, you Xerox the duat. And that gets killed then. And you create a divine purpose. And then it becomes a fourfold. So you have the Father, the Mother, the Son, the Daughter. So it's the Holy Quad. And when you do that, it creates an existence that creates purpose, that creates space, that creates time, thought, objects, observation. You make it real. That's the power. And the power is from the subatomic level. And when you have a lot of power, then we can talk about moving objects and walking over water and whatnot. But first, we need to stabilize our emotional bodies, come to terms with our experience, learn that we are the designer, the programmer of our own lives. Know the movie Tron, there are users and there are programmers. And your choice is, are you a user, a consumer, unconscious, or are you a programmer? A programmer is just another word for magi. Are you the magician that is fully responsible designing their own life, or are you a copy paste person that does what the next one? Or you get that lipstick because that chick has that lipstick, or you get that eyeshadow because 10 million have that, or are you picking something because you want to pick it and you like it? Can you buy a car not because millions buy that car, because you make a decision for yourself? That's called conscious awareness. Is the greatest protective field you can ever build. Before you have to call angels or Arcturians or Pleiadians or Syrian fleet and all that stuff, is can you say, I put the badge on, I'm the programmer, I'm a starseed, I have the awareness that I'm cosmic intelligence infinite. Then you get your badges and then your success kicks in and everything will unfold automatically. And this is so much for that topic. Bliss discipline. We're bliss disciples, but we will be bliss discipline programmers, activating our divine matrix to come into the full power of what needs to be in order to live life to our full potential. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the divine drive side. Peace!